It's perhaps been a while since you've caught up with our Liam. Well, if you remember, he passed his scout initiation with flying colors and was immediately thrown into the thick of a sea rat invasion on his village, Lilygrove. He made his way through the village and to the catacombs, where he bravely saved some locals from the rats' clutches. But then came Scumsnout. He was a nasty were-rat if ever there was one. One of Clooney's own commanders, sent to pillage the countryside before Clooney himself came for Redwall soon after, in the summer of the late Rose. Scumsnout and his sea rats wrought havoc on the little village, and Liam's betrothed Sophia was bitten by the monster's poisonous maw. Infection soon flared, but Liam had a mission first, straight from Captain Robin himself. Get to the Lilygrove lighthouse and light it. The light would warn the surrounding countryside of the attacks and call for much-needed reinforcements. Scumsnout chased him the whole way, but Liam was too crafty for him. He reached the lighthouse just in time, and as Scumsnout pursued him to the top, he was blinded by the lighthouse's beam, and his mighty tail knocked Liam off his feet and sent him falling out the window to a perilous fate.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! By George, Brother Jethro, you sure have put together a fantastic midsummer play. The rehearsal looked just magical.
Oh, well, it would have been even more so had you waited to sneak a peek until its debut tomorrow night.
Can you blame us? We heard that music and we just had to take a look.
I do believe it be too tempting to ignore.
I can't wait to see the rest of it at the festival. If I'd known you were such a storyteller, Brother Jethro, I'd have come south sooner.
Well, Captain Barker, I'm only passing the tale along. I've heard you've got an exciting tale about Finn and Fiona.
Oh, Brother Jethro, if you keep letting the boy have his nightmares, never are my remedies going to work.
Nightmares?
Oh, I caught him in the library, grabbing at that spyglass of yours again. Might have cracked his noggin had I not gotten there in time.
I'm sorry, Grandfather. I just can't sleep. Mom and Dad keep fighting. And Liam, falling off the lighthouse. Grandfather, you never told me what happens next.
Well, William, your eyes could hardly stay open last night. I'd have been a terrible grandfather if I hadn't let you sleep.
But Scumsnout and Liam, he can't have been hurt. He's too important.
Oh, little William, you've grown quite fond of Liam, eh?
I mean, he's a great warrior, and now he fights so hard for Sophia. He reminds me of Dad.
Well?
I guess Jethro will have to finish the story then.
Yes, please.
All right, very well. Let's continue. But where were we exactly?
Liam was running away from Scumsnout. He'd been knocked out of the lighthouse. But he wasn't. Surely he didn't.
He'd saved Lilygrove with his courage. Remember, with the lighthouse lit, reinforcements throughout Mossflower would come to their aid. But his success came at a great price. Falling through the night air, Liam wondered if his journey to the dark forest was finally upon him. Luckily, Martin had more use for him yet.
Ouch! Oh, my head! Is that the sound of battle? But who's fighting the rats? The villagers fled!
face you right here and now.
Tussa?
Legendary? You haven't seen legendary till you've heard of blood secret.
Is that Liam Eagle-Eye? I can't believe it. I thought no mouse could survive that fall.
I'm just as surprised as you are. I'm not dreaming, am I?
Not this time. Get your head together, Eagle-Eye. We've got rats to defeat.
Why don't you run back to the sea while you still can?
Oh, never run from a mouse.
Very well, but I assure you, you're going to regret this.
Soon that
Thank you, Liam. I'm grateful to see you alive and well. And I'm sure Sophia will be too.
Is Sophia all right? Where is she?
Sophia's waiting for us at the dock. She's alive, but I fear her health is waning. There should only be a few vermin left now. Let's dispatch them quickly and meet up with Sophia as soon as possible.
I've seen toads with more skill than this lot.
run back to your...
I've seen toads with more skill than this lot.
Run back to your little mousy hole, you mousies. Why don't you just give up already, huh?
Not if we have anything to say about it.
It's not like a couple of little mice to take us to run.
Oh, I don't think so. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, I'm gonna nap.
You're even duller than you look.
Why, thank you, Liam. Those two are giving us a run for our honey, that's for certain.
You two all right?
Just fine and dandy. Though, I think you're making us senior scouts look bad, Liam. Going around saving the day for us.
Come on, you two. Robin said to meet up at the dock.
Her fever's getting worse, Liam. I fear we don't have the resources to help her here. But you've lit the lighthouse, and because of that, more defenders are being rallied from the woods. Well done!
Thank you, Captain Robin. But what are we going to do about Sophia? Scumsnout's still up on the lighthouse, and she seems to be getting worse by the second. We can't stay here.
No, you can't. That's why we've prepared the boat for you here. Take Sophia across the bay to Old Moss Creek. The creek is too rough to row, especially upriver, so you'll have to get out, find a path, and make your way to the Winsome Wraith.
The Winsome Wraith? But isn't that where...
Stoats, yes. One of whom is my oldest friend, and the best healer you'll ever meet on this side of Redwall. Find Valos Grimpaw, tell him Robin sent you, and he'll help Sophia. I'm sure of it.
How are you feeling, Soph?
I'm all right, Liam. Thanks to you. You saved my life.
I'm quite certain you would have gotten yourself out of that sewer had I not stopped by. Likely would have slayed Scumsnout too.
Ha ha. Your optimism never does die, does it?
Not so long as I've got you here with me.
Well, it's just what I need.
Once we cross the bay into Old Moss Creek, I'll find you some nice herbs to get comfortable. Maybe even some honeysuckle. Your favorite.
Maybe we could have some mushroom pie for breakfast too.
Yes, mushrooms. Good for the bones.
Well, actually,
I was thinking we should bake lots of mushroom pies to see which recipe tastes the best. Then have one for our wedding and... Wait, bones? I don't think mushrooms do anything for the bones.
I'm not sure now's a good time to be picking out wedding desserts.
Why not? What else am I going to think of? My throbbing shoulder? Let's head on whenever you're set, Liam. I actually think my shoulder might be feeling a bit better. Oh!
Please be careful, Sophia. Ready for an adventure, Soph?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Before you go, Liam, Freyby is ahead of you on his way to the Winsome Wraith as well.
Freyby? He's business with the stoats too?
He's carrying with him a special key known as the Tangram. But I fear the rats know about it. Or at least they know it could be valuable to them. And they're right. But we can't risk them finding it, which is why it must be delivered safely to the hand of Valo Scrimpaw. It'll be safe with him. Go now, then, and get Sophia to the Winsome Wraith.
Practicing your scout's call?
Of course. I always found the scout's whistle code to be the neatest thing as a dippin'. Now I get to use it myself. Don't forget the rhyme. Once to follow, twice to come, thrice for danger, 4 times none.
How could I possibly forget? Freyby uses the whistle as often as he can, even to call us for supper. It's rather annoying, actually. So, how are you holding up, my love? How many whistles?
I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Soph.
What?
You don't have to hide from me, remember?
Okay. I suppose I'm not completely fine. It's just this fever's got my head a bit dizzy and I'm worried about the dark forest and what we might find inside. Sorry, Liam, I just don't want to burden you.
Sophia, we are not going to die. And you couldn't be a burden if you tied yourself to my foot.
Well, thanks.
Liam had never seen his Sophia like this. He desperately wanted to make her feel better. But how? What could lift her spirits? He knew Sophia, above all else, cared about her community and her relationships. But she also found confidence in her own strength, to the point where it was difficult for her to admit her weaknesses. Perhaps this knowledge could help him find something encouraging to say.
Don't worry, my love. We're in this together.
I suppose. I just feel so incapable, having been the one scout to get caught by Scumsnout. It's infuriating. I hope the others are doing all right. With that monster still in Lily Grove.
They have each other. And that's what matters. There's no better team than the Scouts of Lilygrove.
You're right, of course. We've got to keep moving forward. I suppose we'll meet plenty of rats along our path too. Do you think?
I don't know. Perhaps we should create some kind of strategy.
And Freyby's all alone out there. He could be surrounded by rats as we speak.
Freyby's as tough as you are. He knows what he's doing.
You're right, darling. I do hope we see him soon. I wonder if the stoats of the Winsome Wraith are as friendly as Captain Robin seems to think they are.
We've got to trust Captain Robin. He wouldn't send us to Stoats if he didn't think it was safe.
Well, I suppose we'll find out. I just don't want to be such a burden to you and the other scouts.
I love you, Sophia Ryemaid. You could never be a burden.
Maybe, maybe not. Whatever happens, I just look forward to this all being over. And then we can finally hold our wedding ceremony.
Her fever's getting worse, Liam. I fear we don't have the resources to help her here. But you've lit the lighthouse, and because of that, more defenders are being rallied from the woods. Well done!
Thank you, Captain Robin. But what are we going to do about Sophia? Scumsnout's still up on the lighthouse, and she seems to be getting worse by the second. We can't stay here.
No, you can't. That's why we've prepared the boat for you here. Take Sophia across the bay to Old Moss Creek. The creek is too rough to row, especially upriver, so you'll have to get out, find a path, and make your way to the Winsome Wraith.
The Winsome Wraith? But isn't that where...
Stoats, yes. One of whom is my oldest friend, and the best healer you'll ever meet on this side of Redwall. Find Vallow Scrimpaw. Tell him Robin sent you, and he'll help Sophia. I'm sure of it.
Ready for an adventure, Soph?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Before you go, Liam, Freyby is ahead of you on his way to the Winsome Wraith as well.
Freyby? He's business with the Stoats too?
He's carrying with him a special key known as the Tangram. But I fear the rats know about it. Or at least they know it could be valuable to them. And they're right. But we can't risk them finding it, which is why it must be delivered safely to the hand of Vallow Scrimpaw. It'll be safe with him. Go now, then, and get Sophia to the Winsome Wraith.
Practicing your scout's call?
Of course. I always found the scout's whistle code to be the neatest thing as a dippet. Now I get to use it myself. Don't forget the rhyme. Once to follow, twice to come, thrice for danger, 4 times none.
How could I possibly forget? Freyby uses the whistle as often as he can, even to call us for supper. It's rather annoying, actually. So, how are you holding up, my love? How many whistles?
I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Soph.
What?
You don't have to hide from me, remember?
Okay. I suppose I'm not completely fine. It's just this fever's got my head a bit dizzy and I'm worried about the dark forest and what we might find inside. Sorry, Liam, I just don't want to burden you.
Sophia, we are not going to die. And you couldn't be a burden if you tied yourself to my foot.
Well, thanks.
Liam had never seen his Sophia like this. He desperately wanted to make her feel better. But how? What could lift her spirits? He knew Sophia, above all else, cared about her community and her relationships. But she also found confidence in her own strength, to the point where it was difficult for her to admit her weaknesses. Perhaps this knowledge could help him find something encouraging to say.
We've got the skills we need to get you to the Wraith. It's going to be all right.
I suppose. I just feel so incapable, having been the one scout to get caught by Scumsnout. It's infuriating. I hope the others are doing all right. That monster still in Lily Grove.
They have each other. And that's what matters. There's no better team than the Scouts of Lilygrove.
You're right, of course. We've got to keep moving forward. I suppose we'll meet plenty of rats along our path too. Do you think?
Well, if we do, we'll figure it out, won't we?
Your optimism always reminds me that everything will be all right. Probably. I hope Freyby's as cheerful as you right now. He's all by himself out there.
Don't worry, Soph. No scout is ever really alone. Not with all our skills.
Aye, the Tangron's got to get to safety, whatever it is. I do hope we see him soon. I wonder if the stoats of the Winsome Wraith are as friendly as Captain Robin seems to think they are.
Even if they're not, we can resolve to be friendly, can't we?
Yes, you're right, as usual. I just don't want to be such a burden to you and the other scouts.
You're much too strong to ever be a burden, my love.
I love you too, Liam. Thank you. I'm just looking forward to this all being over, and then we can finally hold our wedding ceremony.
Agreed. I can't wait.
That'll certainly be a happy day. Oh, we've reached the shore.
I smell a campfire on the wind. To the north. If we head upriver, we can find it and make camp.
Liam, how much further do you think it is to the campsite?
Not far. Can you smell it in the breeze?
Yeah, sure I can.
Are you hurting that bad?
No. I'm fine. Entirely fine.
Sophia, I'm worried about you.
I told you I'm fine, Liam.
What's the matter, Liam? Ah, of course. Scout on, dear.
You left a box out here. Sophia, I can't stand to hear you in pain any longer. What can I do to help?
Liam, I can't keep scurrying around like you are. And maybe there's another way. You could go on ahead and Find a better path.
What? I can't! What if the rats find you?
We don't have a choice, Liam. Scout ahead like the wondrous scout you are. Find a smooth path. Then come back and lead me through it.
Perhaps I could be of assistance?
Huh? Who's that? Reveal yourself!
My. I beg your pardon, young scout. I had no intention of alarming you.
Albert? What in the name of Martin are you doing all the way out here?
I fled with a group of woodlanders from Lilygrove, but alas, I was separated from them in all the hullabaloo.
It's wonderful to see you, Albert. You look rather put together. What for a village mouse out of the snowy woods all alone?
Well, a tailor can't change his stripes now, can he? But what about you, dear Sophia? I'm sorry to say you're not looking quite your best. If I overheard correctly, you were having trouble.
Yes, well... Actually, Albert, we are having a bit of trouble.
Just a bit. Truth is, Albert, I've been bitten by a wererit, and my shoulder's, well, a bit of a mess. Liam needs to scout ahead to find a route to travel upon, but he won't leave me alone. Although I can certainly take care of myself.
Perhaps you might stay with Sophia while I find a proper path.
I was going to suggest the very thing, my good mouse.
Very well, then. Albert, please keep an eye on Sophia.
Here.
Now, go on, my love. Get scouting.
How can I get across?
I do hope so, young scout.
Certainly it's right here, in fact. But if not here, is that Liam Rivermouse? What in the name of Martin are you doing all the way out here?
Well, I suppose I could ask the same of you, Mr. Starthistle.
Well, I suppose so. But once those rats invaded my study back in the Lilygrove catacombs, I didn't have much choice but to leave while I still had my skin. Who's going to treasure the history of this world if not for me, eh? Speaking of treasure, you didn't happen to find my Starthistle family amulet on your journey, did you?
Starthistle family amulet? I don't think so.
I hid the amulet a while back along with a trail of riddles to find it again. It's so valuable, I can't leave it out in my study in case someone loots it like those blasted vermin did. But now that the rats have invaded our home, I'm worried sick one of them may find it. I'm sure I'm just being paranoid, but if you happen back to Lilygrove and come across one of my riddles, please do keep it safe, won't you? You could use it in the meantime. I bet it'd be rather helpful for a scout on the road. When you wear it, it helps your sniffer sniff better by letting you use active scent while moving.
Oh, it certainly would help a bunch. But it's all the way back in Lilygrove?
Aye, so you'd have to go back to find it. Maybe even back in time.
Back in time?
Yes, I'm not sure how you'll do that, though. While you're here, do you think you might do me a favor? I've been trying to figure out how to get to that chest up on the ledge over there all day, and, well, I do believe your scout climbing skills are a bit more capable than mine. Might you be willing to fetch what's inside it for me? I've got a feeling it's something quite valuable.
Sorry, Mr. Starthistle, but I've got to get Sophia out of here as quick as I can.
Huh? And I thought scouts were supposed to be helping the little folk. Fine, then, be on your way.
How can I get across?
I do hope so, young scout. I would be devastated to find they'd been captured by those vermin.
Over here. Up here, you two. We can cross using this rope.
Good idea. Albert?
These old bones can handle that much, my good mouse.
Rats! Quick, everyone down! I'll find a safe way through.
It wasn't me. It was too friend. Not my fault. Bridge wasn't strong enough. Quit making excuses. You should have checked the bridge first.
Well, you never...
Hide my scent.
Quit your squabbling. No one wants to hear a bunch of... It wasn't me. It was too friend. Not my fault. It wasn't strong enough. Quit making excuses. You should have checked the bridge first.
Well, you never checked the bridge first.
Quit your squabbling. No one wants to hear a bunch of babes crying all day. We're doing our best, Whip Rider. Right? My paws are sore.
Your paws are sore? Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. You sound like a little mouser. Is that what you are? A little mouser.
How'd these even fall through the bridge? Ain't bridges supposed to be, you know, holding stuff?
Well, I think the wood was weak, which caused it to break under the weight of the...
That don't make a lick of sense. It wasn't me. It was too friend. Not my fault. Bridge wasn't strong enough. Quit making excuses. You should have checked the bridge first.
Well, you never checked the bridge first.
Quit your squabbling. No one wants to hear a bunch of babes crying all day.
We're doing our best, Whip Rider. Right? My paws are sore.
Your paws are sore? Like a little mouser. Is that what you are? A little mouser?
How'd these even fall through the bridge? Ain't bridges supposed to be, you know, holding stuff?
Well, I think the wood was weak, which caused it to break under the weight of the...
That don't make a lick of sense.
went right over those rats' heads, and they hadn't a clue.
Thank you for all your help, Albert.
Oh, Liam, it's no trouble at all.
What's the matter, Liam?
How are you feeling, Soph? Better? Worse?
Actually, that poultice you made has me feeling quite alright. Although, I admit my fever is still making me a bit woozy. But I'm sure Albert can help us get to the Winsome Wraith, quick as a weevil on rye. Let's just get as far as we can today before making camp for the night. Ah, of course. Scout on, dear.
Oh, the Ivy Wayne sisters! I hope they're alright. And not fighting again. There's a cave back there in the rock! I bet that barley mill is older than Martin himself. I can't believe it's still turning.
Liam Rivermouse? Is that you?
Hi, Miss Ivy Wayne. How are you? I didn't expect to see you out here. In the snow?
Well, what do you expect? Those blasted vermin forced us out of our homes and into this cold to live like cave mice. I am positively shivering my tail off. You did say you were a scout now, didn't you?
Yes, I am a scout. Just as of last night, actually.
Then why don't you do your scoutly duties and fetch me something warm, I did see some cattails around here. They're good for sewing mittens. Perhaps 3 should do the job.
Sorry, Miss Ivy Wayne, but if I don't get Sophia out of these woods, I'm afraid she'll be the one who turns blue.
Of course I understand. No old maid is worth the time of a youngster like yourself.
Oh, no! That's not what I meant.
Of course not. You'd best be on your way then.
How can I get across?
this mill this is must have fled north as well.
Liam, I think it might be best if Albert and I stayed here for the time being.
Aye, I agree. There must be a way to get him off our path. I'll check it out. What are those rats up to anyway? I could use those barrels, if I could reach them. They seem distracted by their crates. I'm sure we can sneak around.
Parsley, trout, sea bass, eel porridge, brown rice with garnish.
This flour will match my scent.
Nutmeg, mull stout, and yogurt. I don't think it's any of those things. Maybe some sweet liver, some Scotch sausage, some rabbit teeth, rye buns, or soy salted kidneys, or maybe some mealworm, or biscuits, or sweet flavoured kale coated walnuts. Maybe
I bet Frabie passed by this way.
Have you come to rescue me again?
That wasn't my plan. Do you need rescuing?
No, I most certainly am not.
Okay then. Stay warm. I wonder if these rock formations have any hidden caves. This one is a bit larger than the last, but I think the campfire is just on the other side. Can your shoulder hold up, Sophia?
Quit worrying about me, Liam. I can do anything I've ever been able to do.
Oh no. Sophia, are you alright? I didn't realize that would be so rough.
I'm all right. A few leaves in my fur, but that's to be expected out in the wilderness.
I'd go so far as to say it was almost fun.
More rats. You two, wait up here till I give a signal. The mouth of the river must be inside that cave! I wish we had time to explore. Crates, barrels, and rats. I've done all this before. Think like a scout. Think! Crates, barrels, and rats. I've done all this before. Think like a scout. Think!
Fine. But we're not pausing because you're tired. Go find something useful.
This'll make for a great camp. Shall we stay here tonight?
I dare say. Perhaps we'd better start a fire and make some soup. I've been gathering some mushrooms and fruits.
That's wonderful, Albert. Oh, I'm starved.
The warm mushroom and potato soup filled their bellies and provided a sort of comfort. For there is no challenge in this world that does not seem just a little easier after a good hot meal.
Thank you, Albert, for collecting all this. It's just what we needed.
I'm glad to be able to help, young scout. I know you're anxious to see your Sophia well, and taking an aging tailor on your journey isn't exactly the most efficient choice. But I'm grateful for your help, and I hope I've helped you in return.
Thank you, Albert. Truly.
Well now, Liam, it certainly proved to be a good choice to bring Albert along, didn't it?
Yes, it certainly did. Albertine, why don't you?
I wouldn't dream of it.
I didn't mean to hesitate on taking him with us. I know we're supposed to serve Woodlander's Sophia, but it's just... I'm frightened for you. We have to get you to the Winsome Wraith, and soon.
Oh, don't worry, you. I can hold out a little longer.
I know you can. You're a toughie. I suppose I'm also worried that I can't keep everyone safe. Albert is a great help, that is for certain, but he's not a scout.
Liam Rivermouse, I am confident that you're entirely capable of caring for us all. Nothing will go wrong. I'm certain of it. Besides, we're scouts. We can't leave anyone behind.
I know. We have a duty to help. And sometimes, we need help in return. Couldn't have gotten far without Albert today.
Aye. Perhaps Martin himself sent him our way. They say he watches over warriors, you know.
I'd like to think that's true. But perhaps he's with us even now.
And with a newfound hope unfurling in his chest, Liam allowed himself to drift into sleep.
What was that?
Liam strained his ears, listening for the sound.
The scout's call. But 3. 3 means danger.
Before Liam was a scout, a whistle for danger meant it was time to flee. But now, with his initiation upon him, he felt a responsibility. If a fellow scout was in danger, he had to help. He didn't want to leave Sophia, but neither did he want to wake her. She desperately needed to rest. Perhaps he thought he could investigate and then return to make a plan.
If I can find a high vantage point, I can use my wayglass to see who's in danger.